Welcome to the Roundtable Podcast, guys. I am your host, Antonio Bouchel. We're thanking you for the podcast, for joining us this Sunday, guys. On this great Sunday, we see RW3 popped in. But yeah, guys, we thank you for joining the podcast. We know that they're doing a lot of new things on the Facebook, where it's it's going crazy now, right? Where I think they're even going to stop the analytics on Facebook for some reason. I don't know.
And even a watch party too.
Yeah, even watch parties for some weird reason. They're doing all this stuff. Maybe it's to slow down whatever is going on. And there's so much to talk about that they don't want us to talk about it. With all of these law enforcement shootings that you might, I'll say it that way, law enforcement shootings, and maybe we're going to talk about that as well.
Oh, yes.
But before we can, I don't even know if they can like. Can they like and share?
Yeah.
Okay, well, maybe they can still like and share on the pod. But guys, we ask you to like and share. If you can share this podcast, guys, and we appreciate it. Yeah. But anyway, guys, that's what we're here. We're going to talk about. Actually, we're going to talk about a couple of things because there's so much that's going on right now. We're going to talk about I want to get into the trial, the Chauvin trial, Floyd. I want to talk about the Dante Wright incident. I want to talk about what is it, a sergeant or something in the military, whatever, who pushed on the guy. Sergeant, yeah, he was something, lieutenant, somebody in the armed military, and he wanted to pick the fight with the other guy. So we're going to talk about that. I don't know, RW3, if you got something playing in your background. You got something playing? Who got something playing in their background? Is it you, Jasmine? Yeah, some noise. There's some background noise is playing. I don't know where that's coming from.
Good afternoon. Happy Sunday.
Hey, how you doing? We on live now, so we're already on live, guys. But it's so much to talk about out here.
It really is.
Yes.
With these different shootings, the trial is going on, and what do we think about the trial? Do we think that was Chauvin would he walk away from all of this? What do we think about that? I think we should just go ahead and get into it. And then I think it's just so much on the platform that we want to talk about, even with the two that we sent you guys, the information that we sent you guys.
Some of it we probably just hold off on, but just kind of like, just talk on whatever that's trending right now. So that's what's going to be the most thing that we're going to kind of concentrate on today. Yeah,
because there's so much that's going on out here. And guys, where do you guys want to start? How's your weekend been?
Yeah.
Hi, lovely T, all smiling. So hers was great. Look at her. How was yours, lovely T? Why are you on?
Why? Just answer the question.
Jasmine, I think what's going on is this thing turned up too loud.
I had a great weekend. Guys. How about you?
Pretty decent weekend. Yeah, that may be better if it turned down a little bit more. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, this weather been tripping.
Yeah.
This weather just been like
in Michigan, it's up and down, bipolar.
You can almost get.
Can I do a shout out real quick? My bad. I wanna give a happy birthday shout out to my girl Tammy. Today is her birthday. Happy birthday, young lady. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to make it over there, Tam. So I'm just giving you a shout out now.
That's
Lady
right.
B, don't make sense. Lady B, you just said have Tam. She ain't even on the broadcast, so you just saying have to the air.
She'll get it.
Ain't even on the broadcast.
She'll get it. She'll get it.
Okay.
But guys, listen, even on this nice, fair day, it's still so much going on in this country. With so many people that's not. They just tired. I guess they're just tired of just what's going on of being Black in America. I don't know if that's the word to use, but just being Black in America. So many people that's just tired. I've been hearing so many situations where people Black are moving out of the country to Africa, Tanzania. I don't know how you pronounce it, but they're going everywhere. They just leaving America. And they saying that they're just so tired of how they're being treated, and then it's sometimes it just seems like a dream, a nightmare. This is actually happening the way is happening back to back. Every time you turn up, somebody, something's happening to a Black man, a young Black man, in terms of that, and a law enforcement. We'll say law enforcement just to keep it right.
Now a sergeant of the military now.
Yeah, now a sergeant of the military. It's just, it's so much. It's so tiring, frustrating. I actually had to question, not really question, but this morning I think I had to ask God, like, what's going on? It's just like you just get tired of hearing about our people being just put in situations where you don't even know anymore
if anything worked. Does anything work? Would it ever stop? Like,
yeah. I guess I even question myself driving in the car. I'm like, I don't know, should I seek help? I'm starting to see help, or sometimes because something you're getting tired of, you could be that one. You know what I mean? And how would it go? You know what I mean?
Yes.
Let me turn this. I bought this preamp. I'm gonna turn it down a little bit so it won't be so strong. But it just I don't know. I had to question myself. I'm like, should I take the tinted window off my car? I mean, because sometimes you can't see in my car. I mean, you can't see at all in my car. You know what I mean? And I'm like, should I take all that off just so I could
feel safe?
Yeah, I mean, it's just crazy to even have these thoughts in your head about your own safety, when you shouldn't have to have that, but you do. And I don't know. It just, that's where I'm at with it. It is, and I know we shouldn't be fearful, you know what I mean? But you just don't know who you're going to run up into, what crazy person that you're going to come up on, you know what I mean? It is what it is, and listen, I don't know if you guys know about, maybe you guys know about it. Aren't they trying to pass a bill, the George Floyd bill or something in the feds, where I don't know if it's dealing with the law enforcement. Does anybody know anything about that bill?
I'm not sure about that specifically, Tom, but I thought about you when we were having some pre-election discussions. And I thought about you because I was reading something, and don't quote me specifically, but on the campaign, Biden made a promise about law enforcement accountability. He didn't backed off of it, saying something about because he said, I think it was something about holding them accountable, and something about having some commission. He didn't back off of it already.
Yeah, and here's the thing: we need so much help dealing with these officers, and it's not a game. I mean, it's not a game. It's somebody somebody lost their lives. This young kid, is it Wright? Derek, was it?
Is it Dylan?
Dante Wright lost his life. I mean, okay, I get it. You know what I mean? They said something about he had a warrant, you know what I mean, for his arrest. I get that, you know, but was it enough? And I guess I was trying to figure out, why did they even tase him? Why was he even tased? What did he do? Was he coming after them, or like, why would you tase him? And then, you know,
they said he was resisting arrest.
No, okay, look.
That's what, you know, that's what's out there in the media.
The video, and to your question, Tom, the kid was attempting to watch this, to get back in the car. He wasn't.
No, but he wasn't supposed to get back in the car because he was being arrested because of a warrant.
I know, but Tone asked the question. Tone said, was he coming at them for them to have to even move towards some level of force?
But they were trying to apprehend him, and he was trying to get away. Now, I'm not saying she should know better. She should know what's on her left and what's on her right in terms of her pistol and her taser. But he did. I mean, if we just look at the video, he was being apprehended, and then he made a move to try and get away. So, boom, there you go. He was being arrested, and some of the commentary out there is saying that had he just complied, it wouldn't have spent them in this direction of reaction, and unfortunately, his demise. So, I'm just putting.
I'm asking you, what do you think? Because you're saying what's out there. What is your opinion?
Give yours first.
I mean, because you was talking like you love them folk and what they got out there. Anyway,
I have family in Minnesota, and I asked them. I have a young nephew, a teenage nephew, who is African American, Black. And I asked him, you know, or we as a family asked him, you know, what were his thoughts and how was he doing? You know, because this is right in their backyard. But you know, it's messed up.
But the argument that resisting arrest can result in people getting shot and killed is nonsense. I mean, resisting arrest resulting in someone being killed, just off the fact you're resisting arrest, they're you know, because when I understand, you know, from some basic police protocol, we're talking about you're stopping a threat with deadly force, right? When you're looking at the video, was he a threat that necessitated deadly force? He wouldn't cut it.
But again, her intentions, according to her, and again, what's out there is that she thought she was pulling for her taser. That's why in the video you hear her say taser, taser. But it wasn't meant to be a deadly force tactic. It ended up being that way because of all the factors that were in play, including her own bias, you know, racist, you know, her value of Black life, all of that was included in that. But he lit the match when he resisted arrest. From there, it played out, unfortunately, like it did.
Now, I agree with that. This is my thing, right? I don't think, here's the thing. I don't think that she intended, obviously, what I would hope. I don't think that she intended to shoot him. I don't think so. I don't think so. And I think it was a move that went wrong, a stop that just went totally wrong. It wasn't foreseen. I don't think that was her intent to kill him. And I think they will prove that in court that it wasn't her intent, but that doesn't matter. It still happened. You get what I mean? So her being 26 years on the force, that shouldn't have never happened, even if you didn't intend for that to happen. Do they have a lawsuit? Of course they have a lawsuit for what had happened. Now, here's the thing. Yeah, I think that, and I think that his past, they said something he had for fleeing the cops, fleeing the law enforcement, as well as a possession of gun, allegedly. I think that was his past. That was the warrant that was out. I think he had a warrant because of, was it a gun charge, producer? Producer, what was the charge, that the warrant that he had?
The fact that he had ran from police, and he also had a legal possession of a firearm.
Yeah, legal possession of a firearm, and he ran from the police allegedly. That was allegedly for the warrant. And as we could see that maybe this was happening again, him trying to flee from the police, and this happened in a tragic state. But I think that, obviously he shouldn't have did that. And I think she panicked. I really believe she panicked and wasn't thinking, and she was actually training another officer. She was in training mode. Wow. And then you can also hear her say there was a child in the car. I believe she said, oh my God, or something like that. There's a child in the car. So I don't think it was her intent to kill him, but it was a move that went totally wrong, and it cost somebody their lives. It cost somebody their lives because of the training that they should have had. You know what I mean? And it went south. It went wrong. Now, here's the $1 million question. Do she deserve to do time for that? What do you guys think?
I'll wait for Lovely T, law enforcement lover. Go ahead, law enforcement lover.
Boy, oh boy, somebody, anyway, I'm not even going to address the shenanigans. You go first. Should she do time?
Because what is she facing? 10 years, $20,000, and penalties, or whatever they call them.
Yeah, penalties.
Yeah.
I definitely don't think it's murder one. You know what I mean? I don't, and I'm not a legal guru by any means, but I don't, from what I know, I don't think it would be murder one. I don't know if it would be more manslaughter or whatever, tier comes down from there. So, she may get some time. I don't, foresee it being like 10 years. I don't,
That's what the charge is, 10 years. It's 10 years. It carries 10 years. I believe they will have to drop it down lower for it to be less than 10 years. And you never know, they might up it. You know what I mean? They might up the charges to something else. Now, see, I don't want to go on record because I'm feeling some kind of way about this one, more so than I feel about all the rest of them.
Yeah, like the one in Chicago, for example, that was just straight up. I mean, he was ready. And I know but I'm just saying the one in Chicago to me is more of a negligent decision, and ending this 13-year-old boy's life.
Yeah.
This one, I agree with you, is a little different.
So you said yes or no, she should do time, Lovely T.
Were you listening?
Did you say yes or no? Because you was just talking in so many circles, I didn't get it. Yes or no? You said something about murder.
Yes. I said, okay. Yep. I said whatever sentence comes with that.
Yeah.
Okay.
That lesser charge. I don't think it's going to be 10 years, though. That's what I said.
Well, I mean, and see, here's the thing. Let's look at what happened to, what's his name? The lady who went into the house and went into the wrong house and shot my man. She got all that time. So chances are she might do all of it. Chances are, and I think it happened to a black cop who shot a white woman, and he got all that time. I think they've been linking that one to this case as well. I think he got like 12 years or something like that for this incident because now let's move into the trial. That's what this is all about. I mean, if you've been looking at the trial, the prosecution is showing that this man has had training. He's had all the training that he could possibly get. I think like 80 something hours of training, and this should have never went this way. And he deserved the time that he's going to get because there shouldn't be any sympathy. He knew was it 9 minutes, 9:26 or 9 minutes 26 seconds, something like that. That he put his knee on George's neck and his back as well. You know what I mean? And what I hate about this, and we're shifting. I'm just talking about it as well. What I hate about this is that the defense is trying to make it seem as though it wasn't about the law enforcement shelving. It was about his drug addiction, and as well as his enlarged heart, him being sick that killed him. You know what I mean? And I'm like, oh my God. I mean, what do we think about that? First of all, do y'all think that he's going to do time?
Yes. I think so. And they're trying to, the defense attorney began to talk about him and all the crowd around him and how that impacted him and what he was doing and what they were saying and the threatening nature of the crowd. And the defense was bringing that into the discussion, what impacted him not being able to, quote unquote, let up the assailant, with all that stuff happening. This defense guy's trying all types of stuff.
That's right. And they're really trying it. I mean, last officer was up there. This guy, to me, was so cold-hearted. He was so cold-hearted as to say that that George Floyd did not die. Oh, he said he used necessary force. This was the argument. That's what the defense, that this guy used necessary force to put George Floyd on the ground because of him having the drug addiction. He was irate. This man was not irate. I mean, you should have seen, I don't know if you guys seen it at all, but it was so cold-hearted. And they had no emotion towards, he just was another black guy, a drug-addicted black guy who just happened to die in a scene of an event. You know what I mean? It's just that crazy to me about how they're doing it. But I think that he's going to do time. Yeah. Looking at the prosecution has, to me, done a great job on this case with the witnesses that they've brought forth, the professionals that they've brought forth. Even the chief of police has condoned him as that was a force that was unnecessary. You know what I mean? And so everybody, even from the doctors, they're saying that he died of low oxygen. You know what I mean? That was, he died for the knee on the neck. On the neck. And I mean, it was just, and I hate even looking at the video. It does something to me every time I hear it because I hate to hear him crying out. And it just it does something to me. Yeah, it's really it's terrible to hear him, because to me, this man was tortured. I mean, he was literally tortured to death. You know what I mean? If you ask me, if you just look at the video, this man was tortured to death. I'd rather that you shoot me in the back of my head and I just die than you to sit there with at least I'm going to go out quicker than you sit there. 9 minutes is a long time when you die. That's a long time to die. You know what I mean? And this man, 9 and 26 minutes. Seconds. Yeah, I mean, this man, that's a long time. Yeah, it is. And yeah, I mean, so in all of these cases, You know,
what about the case with the young man? I don't know if we can show the video for just a moment.
Yeah, let's play that video too, Jasmine, of the young man that
that was in. He said that was in the wrong neighborhood.
In the wrong neighborhood. You know, and I mean, and
that's in Chicago. Is that or is that Indiana?
That's the Ohio.
It's one of those ones.
Virginia? Is it Virginia?
It might be Indiana.
I think it's South or North Carolina.
South or North Carolina. In that situation. I mean, we're faced with so much. Yeah, I mean, it's so much, and that was a racist situation. He didn't belong in the neighborhood. Now, do anybody know if he really belonged in the neighborhood? I don't think nothing came back to prove him that he didn't.
He didn't. I don't know.
I wasn't able to. You know, the guy, he done fled his house now. People been at his house. He didn't disappear from his house.
Well, no, they showed the police. They showed the people escorting him out of the house when all of that traffic came. Let's push play on
under investigation after shocking video showed him berating and pushing a young black man he did not believe lived in their South Carolina neighborhood. Jonathan Pentland was quickly identified after the Monday video went viral showing his altercation with the young man at the Lakes at Barony Place, a gated community in Richland County located in the Summit neighborhood. The 3-minute clip shows Pentland repeatedly scream at the young man identified only as DeAndre to go away now. Cassie Pentland, his wife, can actually push.
Let's play the one we can actually hear them talking. So we can hear actually what's going on. But just here, if you even look at this, here this guy is in the military. You know for sure that he can take this little guy out. You know, just because of his military training alone, you know that this guy can I mean, he can do some things to my man. You know what I mean? And this man is a drill sergeant as well. What do you think he could do to him? He could hurt him very, very, very seriously. You know what I mean? And look how small this guy was to him. This guy looked like a bully to him. Yeah, he is. You know what I mean? And I don't know.
No side of social media.
I just don't know, guys. To me, it's just like.
Wait, did he shoot him? What happened to him?
No,
watch. No.
Hey, they've already been called. They're just waiting.
Play it back. Push it back some. Don't take it back to the beginning.
Right now. Hey, they've already been called. They're just waiting. You know what? Maybe you should hang on a little longer. We'll see how it goes.
Can you blow it up?
Then we won't have to get the report by ourselves.
What is it you're doing here?
Then walk. Well, you've been here like 15 minutes now.
Let's go. Walk away.
Keep walking.
Walk away. Walk away right now. You need help?
You got this one, Kenny.
I'm happy to help you. I didn't hit you. There's a difference between pushing
you were the aggressor, buddy.
You're aggressing on the neighborhood.
Someone came running.
Walk that.
You better walk away. You walk away. You talking to my wife right now.
That's your wife?
Walk away.
I didn't do
walk away.
Your wife to speak.
Check it out. You either walk away or I'm going to carry your ass out of here.
Dude,
what do you want to do?
You better not touch me.
Or what? What are you going to do?
You up on me.
Let's go. Walk away.
I didn't do anything.
I'm about to do something to you. You better start walking.
Why you stop?
You better start walking right now.
You come after me like that?
I ain't coming after you. You're in the wrong neighborhood, motherfucker. Get out. Get out. Where? Where's your house? What's your address?
Maybe we should walk you home.
Walk me
Well,
home.
you bet. You want to bet what I can do?
I live here, sir.
Okay.
Right now, you're harassing the neighborhood.
I'm not harassing anyone walking through the neighborhood I live in, sir.
Where? But check it out. We are a tight-knit community. Okay. We take care of each other. A hell of a lot longer than your ass, because I have never seen you before in my life.
How long have you been living here?
Why does that even matter to you?
How long have you been living here?
It doesn't matter. You know what? Get the hell out of my face. Get out of my face.
You walked up to me.
Check it out, motherfucker. I ain't playing with you. You either get your ass moving or I'm going to move you.
You smell drunk.
You want to bet?
You are drunk.
I'm about to show you what I can do.
I would suggest
you better walk away. Walk away. Walk away.
I'm walking. You keep following me, sir.
There's only one way out of here. It's right over there.
There's multiple ways out of here, sir.
You want to bet? Walk away.
But why he couldn't have walked away?
Right.
You know what I mean? Why you couldn't have walked away? You supposed to be the military. You supposed to know. You supposed to know about being calm. You supposed to know about. I mean, you know what I mean. You supposed to know how to control a situation.
Even if he did live in that community, he still have a right to walk through there.
Yeah, I mean,
you can't stop anybody from walking. You know.
And then he was drinking because the guy said it smelled like you had something.
The military guy was drinking.
Yeah, something on your breath. You know what I mean? I mean, now he was smart not to touch him. You know what I mean? He was smart not to touch him. I'm glad he didn't touch him because he was already intoxicated, and he seemed like he was eager to use his military training. You know what I mean? On this young guy. Well, I don't know if he was young or not, but on this guy, without. I mean, he was ready. He was ready. I mean, but what do we think about something like that? I mean, this is what we're faced with, guys. You know, this is what we're faced with. I mean, and then he used that racist statement that you don't belong here.
We are knit-fitted communities, so we know who, you know. Who
yeah, I mean, what do you mean he don't belong there? What does that mean? You know what I mean? I mean, what do you guys think about all this that's going on?
Well,
that was a cold year.
Go ahead.
It's funny, you know, I was at a location with some people I know, and it was this industrial building, and they were moving some stuff out the building. And down a couple doors down, there was a car that they didn't identify. The people were someone sitting in the car just looking. So I'm standing here talking to some people. They were like, somebody brought up, do you know, anybody know what that is? I'm gonna say, well, no, I don't know what that is. What are they doing over there? Well, they're just sitting there looking. Well, why are they looking over here? I'm ready to go over there and say something. I said, why? This is America. People can sit and look and do whatever they choose. You know, it's this mindset that some people have, that ownership of public place. It's any public place, street, I can pull up, and people, you can pull up, you know, in front of I can pull up in front of Tracy's mansion and sit there in front of the house, and people come out and say, why you sit in front of my house? Well, because I want to. I mean, the street is public, and people think they have ownership of public spaces. I mean, is it strange? But you can't tell someone they can't sit on a state street or a city street, because that's not against the law. But sometimes people just take ownership beyond the scope of their private property, and it's ridiculous.
But you see it all the time, though. I mean, from in front of I don't know. So, like, sometimes I had there was a point in time where the people who deliver were always food, like the Grubhub people, all of them, they would come in my driveway to drop off, you know, food to my neighbor. And, you know, that was annoying to me. So I would tell them, like, hey, just to let you know, their driveway is over there. So was I wrong for that?
No, that's your private property. That's private property.
Right.
Okay.
But like
not the street. Oh, you, Tracy, you the type of person, if somebody's sitting in front of your house, you might actually wonder why they sitting there, wouldn't you?
If they just no, I mean, you know, I'll do an observation at minimum. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking to see, like, are they just, you know, because we get people walking their dogs all the time, you know, so you never know. Somebody might just end up stopping in front of your house to have a conversation. But I mean, if they look suspicious, then yeah, I'm gonna, you know.
There you go.
I can help
there we
you.
go.
Technically, you can't really say anything because they're on the sidewalk. That guy was on. He wasn't on his property.
And
you know what I mean?
Look suspicious. Look, maybe
Thank you, Lady B. Thank you. Please ask Tracy that
what
again.
does look suspicious look like? Because maybe the guy thought the same thing about the young boy.
I mean, and again, that's where bias comes in. We're all humans, so that's where profiling and biases comes in. I mean,
talking about you specifically, not we all. You tell us what you define as suspicious. Please tell us, lovely T.
I mean, I don't, I can't profile, but it's the
like
intuition. It's the intuition. You know what I mean? Like I said, I have to observe. I'm not going to base it just on what you look like. I'm looking at your behavior. Are you just having a conversation, or are you about to, light up some crack?
See, unfortunately, we didn't have. I wish they would have showed before this happened.
Yeah.
Video. You know what I mean? One of the guys read this statement. Somebody said, "What? Can you put that up again? What did they say? When he assaulted, when he assaulted and pushed." See, it's so small. Him, the brother.
Miller. When he assaulted, pushed him, the brother had the right to shoot the SHIT out of him.
Yep, he did, but would that have been smart? I don't think that would have been a smart thing. I think it would have just escalated if he would have did that.
Self-defense.
It don't really. Now I'm gonna be honest. If that was me in my mindset today, I'll say it that way. In my mindset today, I would have let you do whatever you would have done, and I would have owned your house. You know what I mean? Because I would have went straight at you for a lawsuit out of this world. You get what I mean? I would have just sued you. You know what I mean? And made sure I hit the ground real hard. You get what I mean? So maybe it would have taught you a lesson that you just because you're a tough guy don't mean you can go around. It's gonna cost you financially. You get what I mean?
But I just think that if we real with ourselves, like, people case out the neighborhood when they're trying to plan to rob you, in some instances. Not saying that this young man was doing that, but I'm not going to sit here and act like, I'm a property owner. So I am concerned about the activity that happens within my little area, I have a child. So if I see something suspicious, something that's not normal, that's what we call, the community being involved. He said it was a close, tight community. You get with one of them cul-de-sacs where it's only like 7 or 8 homes. Everybody know everybody. You come in and you stick out like a sore thumb. I don't think that's out of the norm. Now, how he responded to it may have been inappropriate, but just questioning, what I'm saying? Like, it's I'm just saying.
Well, I don't think he should.
So you said within his right.
But not came up to the young man. I think he should have just been watching, like you said, observing, but not just come up on them and start pushing them and, dogging them out.
Oh, yeah.
You say he was well within his right to question him?
I'm not placing a judgment of right or wrong. I'm just saying it happens, and I can understand.
I'm asking you.
I can understand how a concerned community member goes up, or questions what's going on. Because again, people. In these days and times, you got people taking packages off your porches. You got, just a lot of stuff going on, crime is on it, so I'm just saying, I see why he had reason to question the man. Now, how he went about it, like I said, that's where his bias and all of his assumptions about what this young man was about came into play. And
so you don't see a problem asking do you see a problem with him asking him, of course, approaching him and asking him, hey, what are you doing? Do you see a problem with that? Not the pushing, just approaching him and asking him questions. Okay, that's what okay.
So when did put up the comment? It was I think somebody commented. What did he say?
If it was a video, if it was videotaped, it would have been very smart to shoot him. The young brother was threatened and feared for his life by a goon.
Well, see, I don't think everything, I understand his position. But I don't think everything should result in shooting people. I don't think that it always should result, that should be the result of a situation. You know, back in the day, you know, we used to fight. We used to use our hands. It wasn't always about just taking somebody's life.
He couldn't fight him.
Well, obviously he couldn't fight my man. He was a big fella. He would have took him out. But I don't know if you should think that should be your right away thinking, kill him. You know what I mean? As soon as he push you, kill him. Boom. I don't think it's the same. You push me, I kill you. I don't know if that's the same. Now, I can see if you come at me with the same way I'm coming, and if you come at me with a knife, you about to pull your gun, then obviously then you got to do what's necessary to go home. But my thing is, I don't think one, you know, it's not the same level, even though we're treated that way when it comes to law enforcement. We're treated that way. We don't even hold a gun and we still get shot and killed. The Caucasian was threatened. I mean, yeah, he did threaten him.
He said if he was threatened, call the police. He should have called the police if he felt threatened. Like Lovely T and the white guy, they said, you know, she should question him. But, you know, now, like Tracy and the white guy should have called the police.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, but here's the thing. If you're outside of my property, what I'm going to do is I'm going to look first and see what's going on. Yeah. I'm not going to say anything. I'm not even going to let you know I see you. I might look out of the window and I might just keep checking because you're not on my property. So I'm cool. So I'll just let you do what you're going to do. But if you're there too long, then maybe I might make my presence without saying anything, but let you see that somebody is here. You know what I mean? And then I might go to the fact that if it's even getting longer, I might say, hey, how's everything going? You know, I'll address you to say, you know, is everything cool? Yeah, hey, you know what I mean? Is there anything I can help you with? You know what I mean? Or anything like that. You know, just I would be friendly. I would be a friendly until you find out something else is going on. And then I'm just going to go back in and call the police. So I learned my lessons years ago. You know what I mean? Too many times.
I mean, but that sounds perfect.
But that's for me because of experience of me going to jail for getting into unnecessary fights. You know what I mean? And being thrown in jail overnight and had to sleep it off because I'm trying to help other people out, getting into situations. You know what I mean? That's where that come from. So mine come from more of a young guy out here in these streets and getting into unnecessary fights. And I end up being the one that got to go sleep it off. Get what I mean? Or something like that.
Well, so you have wisdom. You have wisdom as a result of that.
Right.
And not
that's where that come from. So, you know yeah. And yeah, I can give you a number of times of that one. You know what I mean? But my thing, so I know that one. If I know that one. So my thing is that now you learn that, just check it out, see what's going on. But this guy actually, I think, was cocky. I think he didn't want to be reasonable. I don't think he wanted to be reasonable with this guy. I'm going to be honest. I think he was waiting on him to throw a punch at him. I think he was waiting on him to fight him. You know what I mean? Because he really wanted to fight this young guy. But now here's the thing. Now, what do y'all think about this? Is he still considered a coward? Because my thing is,
he a coward.
Would you would have done that if it was the same guy your size? You mean, would you have made that move? I mean, drinking ain't no telling. You get what I mean? But I mean, to me, to even approach a guy, and I'm not saying size matter because it really don't. Your skill is what matters, not the size. This guy could have took him out. We don't know what he was capable of doing. But my thing is that, I think that you're a coward. The fact that or you so confident you could take this young guy, this slim guy out, from all your training. Why is that even necessary to take out somebody that you probably can actually beat? You know what I mean? You don't have any self-restraint to say, hey, look here, fella, I don't want to hurt you. I don't want to do it. But I guess he shouldn't even address him, period. You know what I mean?
It would have been interesting to see how it ended. Because did we see how did it end?
Oh, I can show you how it ended. Jazzy, put that one video of how this situation ended. Just put up
the end result.
The end result
of what?
You're muted. You're muted.
There's an African American female. They interviewed her that took that video.
Show the video of the crowd
in front of the house and stuff.
Yeah.
So he was with her.
She was just, I think, a neighbor or something, maybe. I think.
Yeah, was that a black girl?
I thought it was a white girl. It said it was a black girl.
No, I saw the picture. I saw it.
Yeah.
What happened again with the black girl?
It was a black girl who was actually videoing it.
Oh, okay.
The black girl. So I mean, I don't know if it was. I don't know if I could throw racism on that, or was it stereotyping? Was it racism? Was it everything is not racial? Sometimes it could just be stereotyping. I don't know if you can put them the same. You know what I mean? Maybe he was stereotyping this young guy, thinking that he was trying to do something. You know what I mean? In the middle, because guess what? The guy's commander above him is black. You know, so if the brother not what they used to call an Oreo, y'all know what an Oreo is. If he's not an Oreo, then maybe everything, or maybe he'd get on him and say, "Hey, bro, you was over the top with that one." You know what I mean? We don't represent that. In fact, we're not trying to cause harm to our own people. You know what I mean? And you have too much military training. In fact, we've paid for your training, and we didn't pay for your training to be to go against our own American people. You know what I mean? And you're using it's almost like a boxer. You know, a boxer hands are lethal. They can, they can be. Somebody. I think they're considered a lethal weapon. You know what I mean? For a boxer like a George, what's his name? Floyd Mayweather. His hands are registered as a weapon. So if he used that, he can put somebody
to sleep.
Yeah, and which can hurt him. And that's the same thing should be with military training. If you have this advanced training to know how to take me out, just like an officer does, then you should be accountable for that if you were to put your hands on me. So this could have went totally different.
It could have.
As Ernie says, police are called to keep order. That goon had no business approaching him. The goon articulated he was a racist.
Okay, see, and this the end result. Now you got all kind of black folks, and it was more than this out there. Yeah. Here's the end result. Now you don't see him out there now. He ain't coming out there now, do you? They telling him they want him to come outside. He ain't bring a peep out there.
See this, Tracy? This is a sign to you.
Yeah, and look, they own his property too.
Yes, they are. And she got her shorty shorts on.
Yeah.
No, I came from my home.
But now check it out. He can come out now and go after them because they really own his property. You see him step his feet out there, don't now? He ain't come outside now. Old tough guy. He ain't come out now. He had a right to. He was on his man property. You know what I mean?
Ernie Miller said, listen to what he is saying. All the flags for racism. Stay out of my neighborhood. This is the 21st century, and we should know by now, racists are in the military.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, all day long. And this is a reminder that we can't go anywhere. You'll never be able to hide from this disease.
Let me tell you, when I worked for my previous employer, we did training statewide. I bet you I never went up to well, it's just certain places in Michigan. As a Black person, you have to be very cautious, especially if you're overnight and things of that nature. And I wasn't the one. I no, thank you.
What did you do?
What'd you do?
I just told them, because they would ask for volunteers, and I would say, no, thank you. I would pass it by. I'll do the training over here, over there,
See, look, now you spark. Now check it out, right? This was some years ago. Remember, okay, we used to own, it was more so me and 3 other guys. We used to own a process serving business, a process serving where we used to serve people. And it was me, a cousin of mine, and a friend of mine. We had an office out there in Redford, right? And we ended up getting a contract. I don't want to name the law firm, but this law firm, and they will give us all of their documents where we will go out and serve these people. It was court orders. I mean, whatever you name it, we had to serve them. So we end up we hired a couple of guys. I think we all hired an officer or whoever, but we hired a couple of guys. So this time when my wife was with me, we went out to Pickney, Michigan. Pickney, Michigan, yeah. So, okay, so, yeah. So we go out there and I got this document in my hand to serve, and all we do is, okay, so here you go, right? If we serve you, and you come to the door and you actually sign off on it, we get $20 off of that document. So every time you sign it, we get $20 off that document. So it's good to get them to sign. If they don't sign, I think it's like
we could try come back like a couple more times, or we get $5.
Yeah, or we would get like $5 or $10 just because we served them and we dropped it off. We just got to take a picture to show that we actually was there at the house, right? So this guy, white guy, obviously, older white guy, big old beard and everything. He come, I'm knocking on the door, boom, 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 and I told him, who was you? Obviously, he seen black folk. I know he's seen black people, but he's like, who was you? I'm like, yes, sir. I'm here to serve this document. All I need is a signature. Get away from my house. What are you doing? So he ran. He ran in the back. And I'm like, oh crap, shit. It's about to go down. He come out with did he have a gun?
I thought he did. He
had something in his hand. And I think he had a gun. I can't remember. Yeah. You would think I remember something that serious, right? Yeah. But anyway, he come out running, and me and him running around the car. We running around the car, and my wife in the car just screaming. And we running around the car like this because I'm too busy trying to give him the document. And she's screaming, and I'm trying to serve this joker. I don't care, but I'm like, I'm trying to,
They had something in his hand.
He had something. I
can't remember what it was. I don't know if it was a rifle or something. God. Yeah, but that's the job of a server. They got some dangerous jobs. Servers got some
especially
dangerous.
Black too.
It was so terrible.
So we hurry up, guys.
I jumped in my car and I still served the paper. I put it in his mailbox. And then I just took off. And then before you know it, the state police called me on my way going back. And I told them what had happened and everything. And
I guess he probably took our license plate down.
Yeah, I don't know how he got I don't know how they got me, but no, I left my number on the. I always leave my number for them to get in contact with us. But oh man, just serving as a black guy in some of them areas was just straight up. You seen and experienced. This one guy told me he was going to break my head and ask questions later if I showed up, because what you do is we'll call them to let them know that we're going to be serving you the document and what time you going to be there, because that was one of the protocols that we had to do. And he said he was going to do something to me and then ask questions later. I mean, it was crazy. But do you know they had the highest rate of that we served them, because a lot of it was for debt, for bills that you owe. If you owed a lot of debt and a lot of, it wasn't really like, it was more for debt. You know what I mean? We have to serve you so you can appear in court and everything and such that. But I just thought about that experience. That was a terrible experience. I'm running around the car. He running after me and all that. And I'm just trying to serve him.
I was like, I ain't never riding again.
It was comical. It was real comical. It was comical. But But let's show this other one. We want to show this other one there's all about this law enforcement and these things that just was happening in Black. Let's look at what happened to this Latino Black African American who was in the military and the police officers. Did we talk about that one?
No, we haven't.
Let's put that one up, producer. This is another situation that happened
It's like this stuff been happening like back to back. It's like,
it's scary.
Is this the month of let's pick on black people or something, or get in trouble black people?
I think what it is the cameras now. It's being so where nothing is hidden anymore, where it's so much truth that's been coming out. Because black people have been talking about this for years, about how they've been treated. It just hasn't been a camera. But this was the body cam of the officers that put this out there.
Traffic stop of a Black and Latino Army officer in December has been fired. Body camera footage shows Windsor, Virginia police officers Joe Gutierrez and Daniel Crocker pointing their guns at Army Second Lieutenant Karan Nazario before Gutierrez pepper sprays him. Lieutenant Nazario was released without being charged, and he is now suing both officers. CBS News correspondent Christina Raffini has the story.
What's going on?
How many occupants are in your vehicle?
It's only myself. Why are your weapons drawn? What's going on?
The door slowly, step out.
Get out!
Get out the car.
Get out now! I have not committed any crime.
In body camera and cell phone video, Army Second Lieutenant Karan Nazario, still in his uniform, holds his hands out the window of his new car, while two Windsor, Virginia police officers, guns drawn, order him to get out.
I'm honestly afraid to get out. Can I? Yeah, you should be. Get out of the car now. Get out of the car. Get your hands off me, please. Get your hands off me. You know what? Get your hands off me. Get your hands off me. I didn't do anything. Don't do that.
Nazario repeatedly asks why he's been pulled over before ex-officer Joe Gutierrez pepper sprays him through the open window.
Sir, just get out the car.
I'm trying to breathe. Ugh. My dog is in the back. My dog is choking right now.
Get out of the car.
Nazario is then kicked, forced to the ground, and put in handcuffs.
Why am I being treated like this? Why? You're not cooperating.
The incident report says Nazario was pulled over for not having tags displayed on his SUV, but the temporary dealer plate is visible in the officer's body cam video. The report also said officers treated it as a high-risk stop because Nazario had tinted windows and drove at a very low speed to a gas station before pulling over, a move Gutierrez later said he understood.
As far as you not stopping and because you weren't comfortable and you wanted a well-lit spot, Lieutenant, that happens all the time.
He did everything that we are told to do for everyone's safety.
Attorney Jonathan Arthur represents Nazario.
When you look in your rearview mirror and you see two firearms trained at you, you got to get real calm, real quick if you want to get out of there alive. You know, it's a credit to his training.
What are you, a specialist, Corporal? What are you?
I'm a lieutenant.
According to the lawsuit, the officers also threatened to derail Nazario's military career if he pursued further action against them.
If you want to just chill, let this go, and no charges filed, we'll take the handcuffs off, we'll get you a bottle of water you can drink on, and sit here until you feel comfortable driving.
Now, after that search of the vehicle,
you hear that joke? You can cut it now, Jack. Did you hear that joke? He tried to talk. He knew. And listen, if you look at the video, he claimed that he went to go talk to his sergeant, or I mean, whoever, the chief of police, and the chief of police told him to tell him either you can get charged. I mean, no, get the ticket. And he says what's going to happen is if you get the ticket, the military is going to come after you too for what you've done, making it seem like he did something wrong. And he said, but if you want to brush past all of this, hey, listen, we if you say you cool and we cool, he said you won't, the military won't learn about this, and guess what, your record won't get destroyed. I mean, he was throwing all this on him. He said, I'll give you a bottle of water. He said, I'll sit here until your eyes clear up and then you could just drive off. I mean, after beating him up the way he beat him up.
The audacity. He must really think that this guy was like an A1 certified fool.
Right. And now they fired him. And he's suing them for $1 million. Now the other officer, if you look at the video, the other officer said he was kind of looking at the other officer like, man, what are you doing? Why are you saying all this? He was like, kind of like, you know, looking at him like he was weird while his gun was drawn, because he knew my man was bold. Some of the things that he was saying, he knew, but he still went along with him. But he knew he was wrong.
A lot of them they do. They don't stand up. They sit back and they know something is wrong and they won't say nothing. That's just like a bully. We learned that in school. don't stand around. You see someone being bullied, you stand up. If it's wrong, you say something. So yeah, it's crazy.
What did he say here? Read this, somebody. Can you see
They
it?
disrespectfully approach people of color with guns, drawn, insinuating, obey me or die. No other option. 100% terrorism.
Yeah, it's that cocky attitude, and not every cop is like this.
Yeah.
I don't want to say that. Not every law enforcement is like this. You know, you have some that are good people.
Yeah.
You know, but then they have these that's so freaking cocky. This is the thing. Now, somebody tell me if it's just me. Why is it? Well, those that actually be shown on TV. Why is it? I'll say 80% of the time, it's always a white guy against a black guy. Why is never that black law enforcement? But I guess they don't make the news because they don't act that crazy. Maybe that's what it is. That's what it is. But my thing is, it's always the white cop, the white law enforcement who's going after a brother, somebody of color. It's always that. I don't know what is it about that, but it is always that. I mean, what do y'all think about that situation? I mean, shouldn't he been fired for what he did?
Absolutely.
This pepper sprayed him.
Yeah. Pepper sprayed this guy in the face. You know, and I hope that, you know, this one goes back to Joe Biden, right? That's where it goes back. And my thing is that, you know, this is desperately needed. This is not a game. This is not a politics game of Republicans and Democrats. These are people's lives on the line. This has have to be seriously looked into because I think one of the representatives is talking about we don't need no more policing. You know what I mean? I think she's somebody fighting that case. Now I disagree with that.
Yeah.
We need policing. I think we need policing. So I totally disagree with that.
Right.
But I guess maybe what do she mean? What do they mean when they say no policing? What's that really mean? Do you know what that means?
She came back though after that initial whatever it was, tweet, whatever it was, Instagram. She clarified and then, you know, started kind of backpedaling, saying that what she really meant to say was, you know, resources need to be shifted to things that are put in communities where you don't even need the police, you know. So you know, she tried to come back and clean it up. I think she realized that she was, you know, she was
Listen, some cops shouldn't even be in African American communities. They should totally not even be in those communities because they should be. Now, this Chicago cop, I keep saying that word, law enforcement. He was talking about y'all heard about the one with the 13-year-old boy getting gunned down. And that was in Chicago. And put that one up too, Jasmine, producer, that video up. Because what I was about to say about that, the Chicago law enforcement says, listen, these guys should not be on the team, on the force, because he said that they don't know how to, I can't say it the way he said it, but it was to some degree with saying that your life is put on the line every day. And he said, if you can't deal with the situations, then you don't need to be a law enforcement. You know, he said the other word. He said, because our lives are on the line. He said that these are some things we have to do. He said, if you're going and you're running and the first thought is to shoot and kill, when it's not even necessary, he said you don't deserve to be on the force. He said you should have never signed up for this job. He said because that's your intent. You're too scared. You're scared. You going into a job scared, thinking that the first thing I need to do is take this person out. I can't phrase it the way he did, but he made so much sense, and I never heard nobody say it the way he said. He was an ex-officer. Just saying that, you know, this is the job. This is what we're up against. He said, I've been in Chicago. He said, trust me, I've ran after people with guns, without guns. He said, and I never took anybody's life. He said, because this is what we signed up for. He said, you know, these guys get pretty, I'm going to use it in my term. He said that they come on the force scared. You know, they come on the force already scared. He said that this is not the job for you. He said, you shouldn't be even putting that suit on. He said, because we get too much training for you to put that suit on. And the first thing you do is pull your trigger to kill somebody. So because you scared for your own life.
Right.
You know what I mean? And
on top of that, the cockiness of like, you know, it's too much for me to try to de-escalate or, you know what I'm saying? On top of how I value this person that I have before me, you know what I'm saying? That kind of, you know, leads to their decisions to be so quick to pull the trigger. Like you say, what happened to engaging in de-escalation techniques or tactics and, you know, just being patient, you know what I mean? Before you just, because everything is not, I mean, we've seen it time and time again. Everything is not like life or death, where you're fearful of your life. So many people got shot in the back for that to be true.
Right. Now, I think the young brother did have a firearm, but he tossed it.
Do we have that video?
Allegedly. I thought the producer was going to put it up, but I thought that he did have a gun. At least that's allegedly what was said, but he didn't have it on him. He you know, and he had his hands in the air when my man shot him. You know what I mean? So that's, I mean, what would be your reason to take this guy out? Because you so, you know what I mean? You so scared and adrenaline, and next thing you know, boom, boom, just because you see, and it was kind of dark, but you going off assumption and you just take his life because you assume he had a gun. So now it's boom, boom. You know what I mean? You take this guy out. You know what I mean? And you driven. Maybe you should have waited for backup. Yeah. You know what I mean? Maybe you should have waited for backup. Yeah. He didn't do that. And the officer was told, he said, we're even trained. So if it's even in the situation that he's put in where he was the only one there and he pursued him what to do, he said he didn't follow any of the protocol. That's the same thing with Shelvin. He didn't follow any. Think about it. Listen to this. Shelvin, this wasn't even his call. They just routinely showed up, him and the Korean guy, I forget the guy's name. They showed up on the scene. I don't think it was the other two officers who were kind of like newer at this. It was their call. Shelvin just made it his business to get into the business of what they were doing. Because if you think about it, if you remember the case, if you remember George Floyd was actually sitting down. They had him sitting down by Cup Foods. Boy, they could have dealt with him right there, but they had to make it their business to pick him up and to put him into the police car. And then my theory is like, what are you putting him in the police car? He was fine right there. This didn't even have to happen. And think about it. One of the things were they were saying, well, wait a minute, how are you using a force? And this was just over a $20 bill. This is over $20, a fake $20 bill that he could have, you know, I mean, it came out that the other guy who was in the car had a fake $20 bill and he might have gave it to George and George took it into the store and did what he did. But this was all over a $20 bill. Right. This level of force over a $20 bill. I mean, guys, it's just, I mean, the training, and then I'm go back to the cop in Chicago. He said, listen, I'm tired of people telling us about it's the training. He said, listen, we get some of the best training that you can ever get. He said, I've been in the military, and he did a couple of other things. He said that our training as officers is some great training. He said, we got to stop saying it's the training because it's not the training. It's these people who want to make these decisions to become law enforcement who don't belong there. They don't belong in those positions. If you're a coward, you shouldn't be running after people. You know what I mean? You really shouldn't. You shouldn't be running after people if you're a coward. You should be running the street, but for freeze. You know what I mean? So you quick to take down, so you won't get took out. You know what I mean?
Well, I just want to make 2 points. There was I believe a senator. He was on TV today, and they played a clip of him saying, like, he definitely believes that we need police, because I think he was responding to the defund the police comment. He said, but it's about the recruitment. Like, who are we putting in these neighborhoods? Which speaks to the point that you were just making.
Right.
And then my second point is we need a national registry, because or law enforcement is they're human too. So if they end up getting fired from their precinct because they did something, they can easily go to another precinct, and then you look up, and after they've, did a George Floyd, you look at their record and they had all these infractions and violations, because there's no kind of national way of, and I don't know if that's extreme or not, but
that's good. I think that's good. That's good. And I think they have something like that though, where they could if depending on what happened, I forget what it's called, but I thought I heard that where they can do something, but they have to make this writing in or something to put something on that person to say that this is what they did and they can't be an officer again or something. I forget. Don't quote me on that. But what did the last comment? What was that?
He actually made a few
He
comments.
said,
Last one.
there's no hesitancy in taking a Black life.
Right.
Oops, I shot, killed him. My bad. The value of life is minimized.
Yeah,
It so is. It so is, guys. It's so is. Listen, listen. I want y'all to see this. Producer, if you see the Martin Rowland, where it shows crazy ASS man hit cop
with a
hammer, drag cop with
play that one.
Play that video. Look at what happened. And this guy, if he was Black, he would have been dead on sight. You know what I mean? You got to put this one up. So this show tells me that you can't tell me that
our Black lives are
if they scared of Black men, are they scared of Black men
and women?
Yeah, and women.
Right.
Please play this video. You just got to see.
I don't think it's fear, though. I think there might be a percentage that's fear. I just think it's that, just that ingrained, like the viewer said, the lack of value when they see a Black face or a brown face,
Yeah. But check this.
Here, first of all, we've talked about so many people are staying at home. They don't know what to do. They just like, look, you know what time it is.
No charcoal grills are allowed. I'm white. I got you, Carl. Illegally selling water without a permit on my property. Whoa! Hey! Give it back. You don't live here. I'm uncomfortable.
All right, so brother, police officer, minding his own business, trying to go into where he lives, and he had to deal with a crazy ass white woman. Watch this.
You're gonna send me a citation? I would love to see that.
That's important. And I have rear cameras on the way as well.
I beeped at you, yeah, because you shouldn't be trying to break into buildings.
Break into buildings. I just showed you that I live here.
Okay, but before that, I didn't know that, did I?
Is it your business once again?
I live here, so it's safety of me and my building.
Well,
it
you see,
is.
I have my key right here.
Okay.
It's being recorded too.
Good.
Okay.
That's
I said,
good.
it'll be on your citation.
I'm not getting a citation.
Oh, you are. You are.
No, I'm not. I'll fight it tooth and nail.
Fight it. You'll still get one.
Well, I'm not going to pay
I'll
it.
see you in court, though.
I'll see you in court,
or when you
neighbor.
get your warrant for failure to pay, idiot.
So that was a Black person.
Yeah, I'm concerned about safety, and I'm accosting a cop.
Mm-hmm.
I
Wait a minute, is this the one?
For safety, you're happy. You're happy a cop lives in your building.
Producer,
I don't.
is this the right one? No, it's not. It's not the right one.
Thing that white people have is the caucasity.
WTH.
It's the one of him that hit the cop. That was I didn't know nothing about that one. But notice the brother was kind of calm. You know what I mean? But no, it's the one with the cop.
It got the yellow WTH.
Yeah, it's that
so
one.
If that was switched around, that was a black person in that car, and that was a white cop. That would not be going down like that. Oh no, that would not go down like that.
But then the black person wouldn't have even talked to the white person about them being in that house. Because we don't do that. We mind our own business and keep on driving. We don't. We don't be. Hey, why are you here? We don't do all of that. We're not in people's business and stuff like that.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's just not our nature. You know what I mean? To do that, we keep on. We'll kind of like peep it out the situation, and then we'll see if it's cool, then we'll just go and handle our business. But if we not, what are you doing? Why are you knocking on that door? You shouldn't knock on that door. You know what I mean? I live here. Let me see your wallet and your ID and your driver's license. We don't go down in your social security number to prove that you're who you are. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because I don't believe you.
But check it out.
Right. A black student who was shot and killed in the bathroom at Austin East Magnet High School in Knoxville did not shoot the wounded school resource officer. You might have been seeing this story, folks. In the initial report, which y'all know we've been down this path before, in the initial report, police claimed that 17-year-old Anthony J. Thompson Jr. shot at the officer.
That's not the right one. I don't think it's the right one.
Whatever that is, that's a good one.
Play it. Let's see if it's a good one.
And they said that the police.
Now, the result of the investigation, the result of the Bureau's investigation.
Producer. I don't know what she's doing. This the one we need. See that video? That's the one we need. And now I just put it up here on the Bullshit Media site, so you should be able to pull it up on the history, because by me just pushing it, so you should be able to pull it up. But this is an interesting one. I really want y'all to see this one, because ain't nowhere in the world you would have got away with this. I mean, these police officers had machine guns drawn, and this, I mean, you see it, it's crazy. And it's
daily yesterday. With unfiltered.com, you can make this possible. This video was viral on yesterday, where this 60-plus-year-old white man dragged a cop around like he was a rag doll, back and forth, no guns pulled out. He wasn't shot. Yo, watch this video.
Oh no. The cop is on there.
The cop holding on to the
no shots fired.
It was just that quick video.
No, recue it. I want you to play it again.
Look at the guns right there. Look at the guns he holding.
He ain't shooting.
I mean, look at this situation here. I mean,
the cop is on there.
Do you think if that
was crazy, Xavier?
I don't care. You can cut it down.
Right? Unlike George Floyd, unlike
riddled with bullets.
Do you think that brother would have made it up the street with that law enforcement officer? They would have shot him on spot.
Yep.
He would have been, and guess what? He would have been justified to do it, because he did put that cop in harm's way.
Yeah.
And here, listen, I guess what I'm saying is, here's a situation where it was justifiable to take out that driver. If they wanted to, it was justifiable because he jumped in the car, he holding on to dear life.
Yeah.
He could have just took and ended my man's life. Did that happen? No, didn't happen. Let it be in one of me you driving that car. Let it be one of them. We would have. Oh my God! It shows you that policing is not fair in America. It's not fair, and that's the whole argument that I guess that we're having. That is not fair. There's two types of policing in America. There's black and there's white. You get what I mean? And the black people,
and it shows that. And I know, of course, every police officer is different.
Right.
But the argument they make, and I'm about to do a generalization, if that's not a case of fearing for your life, I don't know what it is. and they didn't shoot. It shows that they can choose to shoot or restrain themselves. Because I remember on our podcast, one time we saw this one person running around naked, like they never shot.
They never shot.
You know, so.
Case in point, I mean, this right here is ridiculous because maybe they see us more as a threat than they do their counterpart. I mean, maybe they see them as, because if you would listen more to the episode, one of the guys I understood where he was coming from. He said, well, see, you got to understand, when they do that and they see their own people, they see their uncle, they see their grandfather, they see their brother, they see people that looks like them in this situation, so they're not posed as a threat.
100% on point.
But when they see us as a target. You know what I mean? They see us as a threat. They see us as somebody that doesn't really matter. I just need to deal with this situation.
They like to believe the stereotype of whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like they automatically assume that. But like you say, when it's white on white, you know what I'm saying, what stereotype do they see? You know, and that's not to say that you don't have troublemakers in any race, but I'm just saying, like, they're more willing to find out who this person is, white on white, than assume that you're this, you're that, whatever.
Off the top.
But
I can kill you.
That's right.
Oops.
We yet to see a high profile case that's dealing with two of their own. Have we seen that case yet?
Here's
what she said.
Sandra Spanish.
See, here's the deal. Black parents take our children to amusement parks, skating rinks, birthday parties, etc. White people take their kids to gun shooting ranges for hobbies. So that's why after their own has been involved in a mass shooting, they allow them to put their guns down and put your hands up. But black people get shot up in their cars with no weapons.
Yeah, that's true.
And they just had a report that they showed a map of, like, I think they said it was like 180 mass shootings since January, I believe was the stat. Yeah. And so, yeah, you know, you have that going on. They too busy killing black folks, because if we profile the mass shooters, that's a different demographic.
Right. And how many of those mass shooters were people of color?
Not too many. You know, we did have a brother that tried to get in the White House. I don't know what's going on with him, but typically speaking, when you think of a mass shooter, you don't think of a person of color.
Yeah,
we got too much trauma and stuff going on in our lives. We think about killing a whole bunch of folk.
Right.
Innocent folk.
Right. And if you do, they just happen to be in the way of the actual target.
One of the things that this guy said, this one attorney, he said, I was trying to see if I could find the video, but maybe I probably would be able to at this point. But he was saying one of the things that you cannot train or you can't train the mind. He said, and you have these law enforcement out here that is past the training, is more of a moral situation. It's more how they deal and how they view a situation in terms of race, you know, how they view it. He said, so it's like you can't train this. He said, you can't train this. He said, so in saying that he don't know if it would ever become a change in this area, as sad as it is. He don't know if it ever will be a change, because you can't train a person. You just can't. You just got to be able to go under intense dealing with more of the mind to see when you put these people.
They need
on
psychological
the
training.
Yeah,
because we got one of our show. Our next couple weeks, we're gonna have a visitor guest coming on. We're gonna be talking about the mental of some of our law enforcement. We're gonna kind of get into psychological. I think that's where the issue is really drawn from.
Yeah, because this thing is kind of deeper. It's past just training. Is making sure that you don't let them on the force. You know what I mean? You really, 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 really gotta deal. Maybe they gotta spend millions of dollars for this. You know what I mean?
I just think, I mean, I don't think we can look at the problem in isolation. I do think that it, okay, I understand he's saying you can't train the brain, but you can build muscle memory. And so when you talk about, not living requirements, but some type of requirement for community engagement, I think that is the beginning of starting to dismantle some of the assumptions and stereotypes that, they carry around in their bias. I mean, you have to figure out pathways to start to break that down. Or you know what I'm saying, have some type of requirement in training if you want to go to a particular community to do a residency there, or something that connects them and helps them see, the value in the people that they're supposed to serve and protect, not kill.
Well, and see, that's what I said the first time around when I said that they need to spend money for those individuals to go into those communities. And now I wouldn't necessarily have to say live in the communities, but be able to do to communicate with those people. I was trying to find that one video so he can say it the way I was trying to say it. But I guess my thing is, it just, I get it though. You can't train hate. I mean, if you seen the case where it is, I'm gonna try it, and when you guys get a chance, just on your own time, just look at this one of the case of the George Floyd case, where the one officer on the defense, if you listen to this guy, producer, I'm just going to click on this, and I want them, we're not going to look at it, but I want them to get a picture of what I want them to get a chance, so you can see. I want you to analyze this guy as much as you can. And I want you to notice the coldness of the defense. He's an officer. He's an ex-officer now. He's doing other things. I think he kind of like help other officers out. But this guy is cold. His demeanor towards George Floyd was like he felt everything that Chauvin did was necessary. He thought it was necessary, and this is the dangerous part of these people's minds. Because I'm saying to myself, when you get a chance, a producer, put this video up. I put it into the history, so I'm just clicking on the video, so you'll be able to go back and get it. But if you look at the coldness,
you have a lot of people minds like that's on the force.
Yeah, I mean, this guy, he thought, and he listened. The prosecution was looking at him like, what? He was like, yeah. And he was like, was his knee on top of him? He said, no, he wasn't on top of him. He said, well, he on the side of him? Was he beneath him? He said, he wasn't on top of him? He said, no, his knee was on him. You could see the man's knee. What do you say when you say, what do you think when you see your knee and you see the tip of the boot off the ground? That means you're applying pressure because your knee is off the ground. And the guy was actually debating that. He was debating, but he was like, well, I mean, it's how you look at it. I'm like, this is the people that's out there in the street.
Yeah, it's people like that.
That's coming.
That's on a long.
If you see that video, just put it. I just listen.
Bernie Lee Miller said, when people of color mass shoot, it's usually because of disgruntled employee, a love affair going wrong, or just out of their minds. Rarely do they kill just for the sake of killing.
And that's what happened to the one black guy who did run into the they said that he had lost his job and some other things had happened to him, and he was he was going through some emotional issues, and I guess he just popped or whatever. So yeah,
Suicide by cop.
Say it again.
Suicide by cop.
Yeah, it's sad. I mean, they just get tired. The producer, did you see it? Oh man,
I didn't notice. So they got closing arguments tomorrow.
You got headphones on. Yeah, exactly. They got all
Our producer somewhere else.
They got. I'm gonna have to start doing it.
Yeah.
But that's right. They having closing arguments tomorrow, and we're gonna see what happens. But I mean, everybody that was up there, that the defense had up there, the prosecution did a great job of cross-examining them. They did a very good job, and I will be very surprised if this guy don't do time. I will be very, we're lost as a society. If he don't do time, shame on America. Shame on this system.
And I hope they don't. I hope, because if it's not guilty, they're gonna go crazy down there.
You think so? You think they're gonna go crazy?
Oh my goodness, yeah.
They already
terms of-
rioting. I mean,
Right.
this got international attention. You know what I mean? So this is like on the OJ trial level. You know, everybody's kind of waiting.
And now they got this other one back to back, where the same lawyer is about to fight this other lady's case. The lady, you know, who for the Wright case, who, you know, shot the young boy. He's about to be on his case now. Where, listen, just the fact that we can cut it out in a minute, but just the fact that they city is losing so much money in lawsuits. I mean, I will be mad just in the fact that if I'm mayor, city council, I will be on this so hard because money is leaving our city that shouldn't leave our city. I think that it's like 27 million that they suing
police.
The Shelvin. I think the George Floyd, I think that's like a $27 million case.
And that other one that just won the case got all the millions. What was that one that was before this?
It was in Minnesota.
Yeah, recently. Yeah,
No, it wasn't. I don't think it was the Minnesota.
Audrey, what's her name? The girl that got
That's
killed?
Kentucky.
Yeah,
that was in Kentucky. No, I'm talking about their state itself. Okay. Now they have this one. You know that this next case with the Wright, they got an open door lawsuit right here. I mean, she's saying out of her own mouth that she made a mistake. You know what I mean? So that's a guaranteed lawsuit just because of what she did, even though I don't believe she intended to do that, but there was a mistake. You're going to have to pay for it. And the city definitely going to pay for that. And it's going to be millions of dollars out of that city again that's taken out. That alone, if you don't even care about us as people, right? That alone should wake you up to say, wait a minute, these people are costing our cities lots and lots and lots. Listen, if y'all seen it, I don't know if y'all been watching the case, but the Derek Chauvin, the case, one of the black professionals came in. He was an officer. They paid him $10,000 to come and sit to be a witness. $10,000. One of these guys, they was paying him $300 an hour. I mean, so these guys, they paying them mad money. It's money coming out of that city. So that alone would make me be upset. If I was chief of police, if I was the city council, if I was mayor, I would be like, listen, we got to deal with this because it's costing us mad money, and we got to deal. You would think they will wake up alone just on that?
I think though, I do think we are going to see. We're gonna see change. I mean, just from Trayvon Martin till now, you know, I think that the government response has shifted. And it took Colin Kaepernick. It took everything that's happened up to the point that we're at now for us to begin to see this issue not be swept under the carpet. They can't. They can't. You know what I mean? So I think we will see, like, you have legislation actually coming out of these riots, but the wheels are slow. You know, the wheels of change are slow at that level. So, I mean, I see you shaking your head, RW3, but I'm just saying, I do see a shift in us addressing these things, you know, but it doesn't excuse the fact that there needs to be more immediate solutions as well. But I do see a shift.
Now let me recognize the comment that I want to make a point. Cezarny Miller said this is a great forum. We appreciate that. And more need to participate. We are all in the same oven. Also, Cezarny, We've been off for a couple of weeks. Generally, if this is your first time to our platform, we have community persons. We might have financial experts or psychologists, psychiatrists, but we have a wide range of persons that generally participate from across the country. And a lot of the discussions, a lot of community-based discussions from health for Black persons, financial wellness for African Americans. We focus on a myriad of topics, so we're glad that you joined us, and we really appreciate your input. It's been very, very valuable to the discussion, so we really appreciate it. Thank you very much. Also, Sandra, we appreciate you as well. But in relation to what you said, Lovely T, is this. Having any expectation, again, because of the divisiveness of the federal government, that anything is going to come from them of any substance, I have less than a 0% faith, a crumb of faith with them. But what I do, like we discussed before, we can get more done at the local level and local government, putting pressure on the mayor, the county execs, and the Detroit Police Department or Livonia. Like we're able to be in the community meetings. For example, Detroit Police have these, they call it ComStat. Each precinct have these community meetings where you're with the commander of the precinct. And I've seen and been in those meetings and heard the community talk to the commander in the precinct and see a change within weeks. So we have to be engaged in public discourse at our local level as well, because I do agree. It's like turning a whole ship, trying to deal with the government and the Republicans and stuff. We just got a reparations since I think, 19, when it was initially introduced by the guy just died. It just came out of committee, reparations bill. It's been in committee all these years. It just came out of committee. It's been in committee toiling all these years. So I just think there needs to be a focus on us coming together and putting direct pressure on these politicians who are local, that we can touch and see and feel day to day. And I think you see, we have a better chance of seeing a more immediate impact there than we do at the local level. That's just my thought. I mean, at the national level.
It has to happen on all levels. That's all I want, on all levels simultaneously. Like we need to pick. I mean, and I think of the presidency like from an administrator. He has all these competing priorities in terms of, how do you rate what's most urgent to deal with? He got immigration, he got the police, he got Afghanistan, whatever. But
immigration, they on his head on that immigration, and there's a lot of money being spent, and they say there's a lot of people dying, a lot of young people. It's just a lot. It's just a mess. Everything is just a mess that's going on. You don't even know the first place that. Listen, I've just lost all. I don't even look at it no more. It's something that I just turn my head now on. That's why you barely even really see me talk about the politics thing, because I just said, you know what, let them do what they're gonna do, and I don't know what to say anymore about it. It is what it is. You know what I mean? It is what it is. He got, he gonna do his time. It's 4 years, and he gonna go retire and get the big watch and go back and relax. You know what I mean? And let some other person jump in. I don't know. Whatever. But the last statement. Go back. To the young lady who made she made a statement before where she said that the officer, she got
she said the lady cop was allowed to resign with full benefits. She should have been fired immediately. The chief of police ordered the street lights to be turned off on that crime scene, and that's a shame.
But what I thought happened to that situation, I thought that the mayor didn't accept the resignation just of yet. So I don't think that, because I think that's what I thought had happened, where he didn't accept it right now. You know what I mean? Based on, because she can resign with all of her benefits. Because wouldn't you get what I mean? Wouldn't you resign if you know that you got these benefits 26 years in? Hey, listen, it's time for me to get this up. Anytime I'm grabbing for my gun instead of my taser, I need to give it up. No, hold up. They said hold up. So now I don't know if she's going to get that benefits based on the mayor not accepting her resignation. So resignation. So that's what I'm thinking is going on now. I don't know if there's anything that's turned from there that's going to allow her to retire. I don't know if she's gotten to that stage yet. So let's just see what happened in that area. Do y'all think she deserved to retire and get her benefits? What do y'all think about that? Should she get her benefits retired?
The feminine queen, go ahead.
You.
That's a good question.
I swear to God. No, I'm just,
I mean, do she deserve her do she deserve to walk away and sit back and relax and get her check every month? You know what I mean? And keep her status as an officer, retired officer. You know what I mean?
It happens. I mean, I know. And it's not because she a woman, but there have been plenty of, officials, people in various positions that, they have to step down. CEOs of major companies, they have to step down.
But for murder?
Lovely T, do you think she should get her benefits? A simple yes or no will do. Please don't deflect and talk about other CEOs and other situations where people had not killed folks. I am asking you, Lovely T, myself, Tony, Lady B on the Roundtable podcast.
All right, if she is found guilty, so if she is found guilty of murder, then no, I think that should forfeit any benefit.
No,
but if it's manslaughter or some lesser charge, like there was no ill will intent or whatever, then maybe.
Notice that was the first thing she did, though. Notice that was the first thing you heard. She resigned. She got out of there quick. I mean, she got out of there real quick.
Quick, fast, in a hurry.
Yeah, she wanted that paper quick. She said, "Oh no, let me get out of here. Hey, I'm out of here. I'm out of here. Hey, I see y'all. I'm gone." Yeah. She was like this to the car. You know what I mean? She wanted that.
So what does everybody else think before you close out? What does everybody else think?
Like you were saying too, if it's like, like it was murder, then no. But like,
I don't think that it would be fair for you to kill somebody and then retire with a pension. You know what I mean? I don't think that goes together. I think that's dead wrong, and that's why you did it, so you can hurry up and lock that in and say, no, I retired. You got to still pay me. You got to still pay me. No, I don't think that's fair. I don't think it's fair. As it being right, I don't think it's fair.
Family for years.
Yeah, I think that okay, I get what you're saying, and I can't ride with that. I can't ride with the fact that let's see what happens, but I don't think that nothing should happen. You're resigning. You shouldn't get anything right now until we figure it out now.
And the viewer, he said, I don't know if we can put it back up there. He said something
put it back up there.
Effective that yeah, okay, if it's a lesser charge, she should possibly pay restitution to his family. So I mean, they could take him to civil court, right, and sue.
Yeah, she can't get sued because she was doing the job for the state of whatever that was. She's an officer, so I don't think that they can sue that job title. I mean, the state, the city, whoever the government, they can get money out of them. You know, because she was acting on her job.
Like his family can take the department for a civil suit. That's where you get like your money. You know what I'm saying, in terms of paying restitution.
Yeah,
but the only thing with that is that is taxpayers' money if they go to court.
Sandra was telling Lovely T, two things she said to Lovely T. My eyes don't play tricks on me. It is what it is. And also, I see what I say. She didn't say lovely T, but we know who she's talking to. But nevertheless,
what happened?
You can't. You can't. This is why she shouldn't get it. Some mistakes, parenthetically speaking, since we're using that, you cannot make. You cannot make a mistake and not know what weapon you're pulling.
Right.
You just can't. That's not a mistake. That is what's the word I'm looking for? That's not. I was in the military. What we call it is, we used to talk about paying attention to detail, and when we don't, people die.
Yeah.
So all through our boot camp, when I tell you details, we had to have the mattress and bed made up to certain inches. Our shoes, when we put our shoestrings in, they couldn't be bridged. They had to be laced a certain way. My butt shirt had to be buttoned up directly in line with my buckle. All those details, because I said when I got out on the ship and we're in war, the details matter or people die. And my training was to the details, and I know the police department have similar training. You cannot make a mistake and do that. You can't. So because of that, and not paying attention to detail, which after 26 years, probably she got lax and not in terms of refreshers. I know she's
She was a trainer.
Oh my goodness, she's the trainer. So that's unacceptable. No, she need to go ahead and get another job and put 5 years in and get vested at Target or something. And then,
and I'm gonna be honest, I agree. I really agree. I think that's I agree. If she's found guilty, I agree with that. Because, and then even just because she's found innocent don't mean it wasn't wrong. It just means that court is not about who's right or wrong anymore. It's about who can prove who can prove it. I mean, it's not about that. Look what they doing to George Floyd now. They burying this guy, saying he was a drug addicted person. He had an enlarged heart, and that's how he died. If they can prove that, they win. I mean, if they could just stumble in and get a hung jury, you see what I mean? I mean, just because of reasonable doubt. You know what I mean? I don't know, and maybe that was right. No, maybe he didn't do it. I mean, now they got to redo it all over again. I mean, who can prove the best lie? I mean, who can come? I mean, it's just notice that they can't even talk. If they try to say something different, they say, no, just a yes or no question. Sir, this is a yes or no question. They about to go into details and say, no, but it's no, yes or no. Yeah, okay, that's what we need. All we're trying to do is form that, throw that in there, that wrench within there to stop this whole thing from flowing. So, guys, that's what it's about. It's 6:30.
Last statement, real quick, before we sign off. Sandra said she's just having a problem with these people not trying to make us believe these videos that show live proof of these crimes are lies. She says she has a problem with that.
Yep. I mean,
our eyes are lying to us.
And to some degree, it can, depends on how the video is cut on. So it can, it depends on what you're catching. And now it's like their job is even more tougher because they have to go above and beyond to show that this camera still is not what you see. So I do get that. I do get it. It's not all about that anymore. But it's a tough fight. It's an uphill fight for the defense. The prosecution is pretty much, they looking good. The prosecution looking real good and it's because of the video. You know what I mean? They catching people in lies and lies and lies and lies and lies. I don't know what happened to Lovely T, but maybe she'll pop back in. I don't know, but guys,
yeah.
Oh, well, we about to call it. We about to cut it now. But anyway, guys, listen. We thank you for. Even those who did come on to communicate with us, we thank you, for commenting,
Yes.
for getting to dialogue with us. We thank you for that. And guys,
share, please share.
Yeah, share,
like, and
That's
subscribe,
right.
all of it.
That's right. We want to keep coming back to you every Sunday at 4:40, 4:45 is when we come on, guys, and we would love for you guys to join the podcast, come communicate, talk. We like to talk back with our viewing audience. We love to welcome you and community. We actually talk back with you, share dialogue from these topics. There's so much going on, but definitely we would love for you to even patronize our YouTube page, that pitiful YouTube page that we have, that we need somebody to show some love to that. Well, we got over 100 pods on it, guys, good stuff. But I mean, I get it. We go live, so a lot of people want to see us when we're live. And that's when we really get our hits, when we're live, more so than when we on that YouTube page. But if you want to see some good videos, some good pods, go to our YouTube page and check out some topics that we talked about. We're going to have some more guests that's going to be coming back onto the show, and we definitely would love for you to meet us next week, next Sunday at 4:45
EST.
That's right.
Lovely day.
That's right.
Lovely.
So, guys, listen.
Lovely day.
Out of here, guys.
Lovely day.
And